Hi friends, just wanted to show you a few movements to get the spine moving. I wanted you to think about your body as three-dimensional, right? Front, back, not just front and back, but sides and spirals, right? So there's lots of different movements that we do throughout the day, and most of them aren't linear. And there's a lot of exercises that you do in the gym or even in here with Pilates that are very up, down, side, side, but not probably enough that challenge and remind our bodies to move in 3 dimensions. And so I'm just going to run through a few movements that kind of help wake up the spine and help connect your front to your back and your sides to your sides. That will be great to get you moving nicely. First one is just getting your legs and your pelvis and your spine working and your rib cage working together. So let's just kind of start by sitting up tall in a chair. And the best chair for this is going to be either a stool or a chair without arms. So if you've got a chair that has a back on it, totally fine. I would just turn it so that the corner of the chair is kind of pointing between the legs here. So we're gonna turn the legs out a little bit and arch the spine. And then turn the legs in a little bit and curl the spine. And then inhale as you arch and lift the chest, stretching the throat. And then exhale as you curl and stretch the back of the neck and lower back. Inhale and arch, opening the chest, and then exhale and curl. You might have done this on the hands and knees, and it's called cat and cow. But if you're sitting in a chair, pretty much anyone can do it. A lot of times if you've got wrist issues or knee issues, you can't get down to the floor, cat and cow on the hands and knees is prohibited, right? So, but this one, it's pretty easy. You can it meets you where you are. You can sit in a chair and just rock the pelvis forward for the arch and then back in the curl. And I'm sitting sideways here so you can just really see where in your back, or where in my back, I need to stretch more, right? You want to make a nice even curve, C-curve in your spine, and you don't want most of it to be in your neck or most of it to be in your low back, right? It should be a nice even curve upward and arch, and an even curve this way to curl. And the legs turning out or turning in the sockets help that to happen. So turning out gives you space in the front of the pelvis, length in the front of the body in the arch, and then turning the legs in a little bit gives you space in the sacrum. Feels really nice to open up the back of the pelvis in the curl. So that's the arch and the curl. Good, cat and cow. And then we're going to move it into a wave. So same idea, just a little bit more reverberation through the movement. We're just going to arch, we're going to lift up, and we're going to arch and rock yourself forward and then curl back. Good, and lift up and arch forward and curl back. I'm still doing the legs. I'm still going to turn out a little bit as I arch, rock forward on the sit bones, turn in a little bit as I curl. Really send the pelvis backwards, pull your abdominals in. And arch and curl. Trying to be even in your curl. Most of us have probably more flexibility in your neck, or maybe it's your lower back. But if you really support it from the abdominals, it will give you more flexibility through your lower back, right? And if you think about moving the ribs as well, usually backwards in space, that's where they need to go. They will help to stretch your spine as well. So that's the wave. Then we're going to reverse the wave, and it's diving. So we're going to curl, we're going to lean back, push into the feet, lean back, curve your spine like you're diving in the water, and then scoop and arch out. Lean back, curl, pull your abdominals in, and arch. And curl, pulling the abs in, and arch. And if you've ever seen a belly dancer and how their abdominals kind of wave, that's what's actually happening here. You might not notice that as you're first learning it, but once you start to get moving and your spine opens up a little bit, you're actually going to notice that this is abdominal work. So Think about your abdominals pulling in toward your back, and they follow the spine in the movement. So it really is kind of a supple way of connecting to your core that feels good, and it's also effective, right? We're stretching the back of the body and then stretching the front of the body. Stretching the back of the neck and then stretching the throat. Good, so that's the wave. Then I'll face this way again. I'm gonna do a little bit of a twist. So we're sitting tall again, and we're just gonna spiral, twist on the exhale, and then inhale back to center. Twist on the exhale, and inhale back to center. I actually only want you to twist as far as your whole spine can spiral, and then back to center. Your eyes can really crank over there, I know, and even probably your neck. Sometimes I have to do this with my eyes closed to make sure that my eyes aren't guiding it farther than the rest of my spine can spiral, right? You want your shoulders to turn, your ribs to turn, your pelvis can turn a little bit too. And that's going to show you how much range you have on each side. You'll notice probably that you have more range on one side than the other. Everyone kind of usually does. We tend to turn one direction much more easily than the other direction, right? But this is great because we'll teach you how to be more symmetrical, which prevents injuries. So then find your spiral on one direction, and then we're going to wave forward. So arch forward and then curl back. And then arch forward and then curl back. So it's more or less, once you spiral, it's more or less over one thigh. I'm saying more or less because you may not have that amount of spiral. It may be kind of more here, a little less spiral. That's okay too. Wherever you are, that's where you start. Good, curling back, pressing into both feet, arching forward, pulling in. Remember those belly dancer tummy muscles lengthening as you arch, and then connecting deep, low down, pulling in as you go back, right? Other side, spiral, arch forward, and curl back. Arch forward, and curl back. Few more, arch forward, and curl back. Feel free to do more. I'm just gonna show you a few to get you going. And center. Good. Then we're going to stretch our arms out to the side. And we're going to reach. We're going to reach kind of off center. I still have weight on both feet, but I'm going to reach as far as I can to one side and then back. And then as far as I can to the other side and then back. And I want you to look down that middle finger as you reach that direction and then the other direction. And then we're going to side bend. So we're going to reach and side bend, and up, and reach, and side bend, and up, and reach, and side bend, and up. You can feel free to do it slower than this. I really want you to feel like you can open up the sides of the body and in between all the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Really important for lung health. I say opening up the sides of the body helps with creativity. Reach, pressing into both heels. And last one. Could really do this all day long. And stretch. Good. All right, let's go into, I'm going to turn sideways again, a little bit of connecting your legs, right? So we're going to curl the spine